They want you to forget who you are, not your name, your position. You're not just a citizen. You're not a spectator. You are the source of power in this country. That's not motivation, that's the design. The Constitution didn't grant you rights, it recognized them. There's a difference. A government can't give you what it doesn't own. Your rights exist whether it acknowledges them or not. Freedom of speech wasn't written so you could say safe things. It was written so you could say dangerous, unpopular, inconvenient truth without fear of punishment from those in power. The right to bear arms wasn't about hunting. It wasn't about sport. It was written with a very specific understanding governments can become a threat to their own people. History proved that long before this country existed, and has proven it over and over again since. The Constitution is not a suggestion. It's a line drawn in the sand. War doesn't always come from across an ocean. Sometimes it's pressure, control, slow erosion, rights chipped away piece by piece until people forget what they had in the first place. No tanks, no bombs, just compliance. That's how power shifts quietly. But the system only works one way, because you allow it to. We the people is not a slogan, it's a warning. The authority of the entire government rests on the consent of the governed. That means that the people forget, ignore, or willingly hand over their responsibility, the balance breaks. And when that balance breaks, history doesn't get creative, it repeats. Defending your rights isn't comfortable. It's not convenient. It requires attention, awareness, and sometimes standing alone when it's easier to stay quiet. That doesn't mean chaos. It doesn't mean violence. It means understanding exactly what's written, why it was written, and refusing to let it be twisted into something unrecognizable. Because once rights become negotiable, they stop being rights. War, in its ugliest form, is what happens when control goes unchecked for too long and people are left with nothing else. Not because they want it, but because every other option was slowly taken off the table. That's why the foundation matters. That's why the Constitution matters. Not as an old document, but as a boundary, a reminder, a line that says there are limits to power and those limits don't move just because it's convenient. You don't need to romanticize conflict to understand this. You just need to pay attention. Because the moment people forget who holds the power is the moment they lose.
Tiny red dot on the screen feels like an eye on my teeth when I speak.